What's up guys, this is Miasin. So today we're going to be looking at a new card from Infinite Forbidden. It's a normal shop card and obviously, right, it's a secret rare because, you know, that's Konami for you. The card's name is Dominus Purge and it reads, if your opponent controls a card, you can activate this card from your hand. So it's a hand shop, you already guessed it. When a card or effect is activated that includes an effect that adds a card or cards from deck to hand, negate that effect. Then as an added bonus, if you have a shop card in your grave, destroy the negated card. So it becomes like a negate and destroy if you have, let's say, Imperm in your grave. So that's even more value. With that being said, there is a drawback, obviously. Otherwise, this card would be tier negative infinite billion, would be like the new Ash. You cannot activate dark, water, and fire monster effects for the rest of this duel after this card activated from the hand resolves, and you can only activate one Dominus Purge per turn. Even if you play no dark, water, or fire monsters in your deck, it still affects your extra deck. So for example, if you have Dominus Purge and Ash, it forces you to always use your Ash first, and then Dominus Purge after the fact that you're declining yourself access to SP Low Knight, Nightmare Phoenix, Access Cold Talker, all kinds of those really good staples in the extra deck can be somewhat of a turnoff. With that being said though, there are some decks that can use Dominus Purge extremely well, and either just not care about their drawback whatsoever, well, again, about its drawback, or just mitigate it, not really feel too affected by it. But the first thing that I would have to say about this card is, if your deck can play it, at least consider playing it, because it really is that good. I want to say after like Ash and Imperm, it's probably one of the better hand shops that you can play. Much better than like Mourner and stuff like that we just really play because we need more hand shops, but the card kind of sucks. But Dominus Purge, it doesn't suck. It's pretty good. Anyways, Ritual Beast is the first deck that can play Dominus Purge because every single Ritual Beast monster is either wind or light. Now, not a single Ritual Beast monster is different, if I recall correctly. Even though some of them look fire, they're not fire. So yeah, that's a really cool thing. This deck can already play a decent amount of non-engine. It can play Shifter as well. This card does not clash with Shifter. You don't like send it from the hand to the graveyard. You just activate it. Exactly like Infinite Impermanence, so that's even better. And it mitigates your losses to evenly match because it's just a card that you keep in your hand. Unlike Imperm, where if you go first, you have to set it, because now you control cards on the field, so it's not like you can use it from the hand. Dominus Purge, it's not like if you control an empty board, you can always use it from the hand. It's just that if you use it from the hand, then the drawback of not being able to use Dark Water and Fire Monster effects start applying. Because if you set it and then you flip it, you're not affected by the drawback. But again, it doesn't really make any much of a difference for Ritual Beast. And then the other deck that could play Dominus Purge really well, that kind of feels a little affected by it, would be Kashtira. Because Kashtira Unicorn is wind, Kashtira Fenrir is earth, Kashtira Skrewclaw Kashtira is earth as well. The only monster that would lose out to your own Dominus Purge would be Kashtira Rizard, which is a fire monster. So if you're relying on Rizard and Birth, for example, to start playing the game, then unfortunately it will hurt a little bit. And also your extra deck might feel a little nerfed by Dominus Purge. Whatever, you can still go into Draco Sag because that's wind. What are you doing after that? You're gonna have to figure out some nice combos if you are under the lock of Dominus Purge, unfortunately. But hey, now you no longer have to play some garbage hand shops to accommodate for the existence of Shifter in your deck, which is really good. The Machina deck, or Earth Machine in general, Ancient Gear, all that stuff, it's usually locked under, well, not really locked under Earth monster effects only, but it wants to play with Earth cards only anyways, so the fact that you're not affected by that in the first place is good. So again, Light, Earth, and Wind are unaffected. Only Dark, Water, and Fire. And obviously Divine is unaffected, but bro, who's playing Divine attribute cards in 2024? Traptrix is another deck that could potentially play Dominus Purge, and again, being able to keep it in your hand instead of setting it would mitigate your losses to Duster, Lightning Storm evenly matched. The Zodiac deck, it sucks right now because there's no Adrantia, no Broad Bowl, but everything is Earth or Zeus is Light in the extra deck. If there's any conflicting, it would just be in the extra deck, like the other cards that you might play, or the other hand shops like Ash. Subterra, everything is Earth, so you can maybe play Dominus Purge in that. Virtual World, everything is Earth and Wind, so that's also decent, but the extra deck might be a little rough because Ultimate Zolkin is one of the ways you beat Nibiru by going to Crystal Wing. Crystal Wing is Wind, but then Zolkin is Dark. The Magispectre deck, everything is Wind. Speedroid, everything is Wind as well, so you can also play Dominus Purge in that. Nobody really plays Speedroid, but I think it's a decent deck. It's just that I have to look into it a little bit more. Lyrilusk, that deck used to be good, but now it's whatever. And the Tri-Brigade engine, everything is like a different attribute, so there's also Fire and Dark, I believe, so that's not gonna work with Dominus Purge, unfortunately. Crystal Beast, you got a bunch of light and wind monsters, very similarly to Ritual Beast, so you should be fine in Crystal Beast, but again, the extra deck can be a little problematic for you. Now, I want to say the two best decks to be able to play Dominus Purge would be Voice's Voice and Melodious, because Melodious can now play Nibiru anyways, so its array of, I mean, its possibilities for hand shops are a little more linear, so you have to play like very basic hand traps, but you can also play Herald of Orange Light, which is good. But the fact that you can now play Dominus Purge on top of that means that you can search, like you can stop even more generic cards. Like you got Ash, Dominus Purge, and Herald, either of Orange or Green Light, in order to stop like your opponent activating random cards that almost no other deck would be able to stop. And the Voices Voice deck could also take advantage of that, which I think is really good. Cyber Dragon, everything is light, I guess, in a way, but you still should play some dark monsters in the deck, so it doesn't really make as much sense. Eldritch, I guess, everything is light, whatever, except for your extra deck. The Galaxy Eyes deck, it's not that great because there's also Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon, which is dark, unfortunately, so it does conflict a little. Exorcister, on the other hand, everything is light. No exception, because you're locked under Exorcister only, so it's not like you can summon non-Exorcister monsters. There might be the Spirit monsters, which the one that you do play is the one that gets you the extra normal summon. It's the light monster, but the other one, the Fire Spirit, whatever, that I think that's dark attribute. It wouldn't work with Dominus Purge, but it's fine. You can deck build around that. It's not a problem whatsoever. The ABC XYZ deck, you are typically locked under light monsters only anyways. So again, you're not gonna feel the nerf of Dominus Purge whatsoever. As a matter of fact, in my ABC deck, I don't play a single non-light monster in the extra deck. Everything is light, so that even when I am locked off of X-Cross Cannon or any of the X, Y, and Z monsters, I can still summon everything in my extra deck. I don't feel like I have some dead cards. And again, same thing with Dominus Purge. Since you can still use all of your light monster effects, then you should not play any non-light monsters, so that you're locked under both drawbacks and have a lot of useless cards either in your hand or extra deck or deck whatever. Drytron, another deck I guess I can say that would be able to play Dominus Purge, and also the thing about Drytron is that it's like a really hardcore combo deck, so there's infinite ways of playing it out. Maybe you will play an engine in Drytron that will lose out to Dominus Purge, but the Drytron engine itself, you should be fine. Same thing with like the Cyber Angel Benten and everything, Diviner of the Herald, Herald of Arclight, everything there is light, so you're usually okay. Megalith as well, everything is earth. Yeah, okay, cool. So pretty much every single splashable engine for Drytron would work out as well. And then finally we got Magical Musketeer and, you know, the Fiendsmith engine in general, so you're not affected by, you know, the Dominus Purge for that deck, because everything is light as well. Yeah, I don't know if I missed anything. You guys let me know in the comment section if I do. But yeah, in conclusion, I think Dominus Purge is a great card because it just stops a lot of generic cards. It can stop like Bonfire, whatever. It stops the activated effect. Hold on a second. Negate that effect. Yeah, it doesn't stop the activation. So if your opponent has a second Bonfire, it's not like he can use it. So that's nice. And again, it just stops a lot of good generic cards. Like, I don't know, Prosperity or whatever. It can literally just be anything. It can be like a generic Rhoda. So it's basically Ash 2.0, but it doesn't stop Branded Fusion. So that's the one drawback, but it's still a good card. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.